Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds. I'm Ted, hanging out with some of the colleagues today.
Ryan.
Dave.
And today we're going to talk about not D&D. So, we got to go on a little adventure yesterday.
Road trip, if you will.
Road trip, if you will. Celebrate some festivities.
Somebody getting old.
Yeah. Someone being one step closer to death.
Yeah.
So we went to medieval times.
We did.
And it was a blast.
You know, I feel like if you just paid enough, that you could have the option that just people could just dig a hole and bury you right in the performance area. So this way the horses can run over where your remains will be.
Well, so there's
you just gotta pay a lot. There's like $10,000.
There's like two different ways to enjoy medieval times. One is you're like there for the show and the dinner, and you're just gonna look at stuff, and that's it, and you're gonna ignore all the other stuff, or you're gonna go there and just spend and spend and spend and spend, because really, they had a price tag and a charge for everything you could possibly think of under the sun.
Indeed. You can get birthday announcements, or actually any kind of announcements. You can
get knighted, go through the dungeon. Like, there's all these things, right? By the time you walk out of there, your $68 ticket could actually cost like $6,000.
Yeah, and like we went there, they had like a summer deal, so it was like half off. But like, oh man, could you imagine paying full price and then like all the little add-ons that's
what I mean.
Well,
that could rack up fast.
Even at $68, I don't want medieval times to feel insulted here. At $68 for an adult, you get dinner, you get a 2-hour show. And like they just keep bringing out the food. I mean, I know I don't have the stomach that you do, but I walked out of there full with leftovers. So I don't know how you.
I did not have leftovers, but I was full.
I was full by the end of it. Yeah, I see it.
And I enjoyed everything that I tried. It was fantastic, and the show. The performers, the actors, whatever terminology you want to use, they're of a decent caliber. While their stuff is totally scripted, including down to the combat, so that they know who's going to win. It still is fun and entertaining.
Yeah. Well, and also too, like, I'm sure there's lots of operational costs. So let's not beat on that. Let's not beat this horse.
Yeah.
But like, there's got to be a lot of operational costs. You probably carry a lot of insurance.
Well, that's kind of my point in saying there's two ways to enjoy this. Either you have a ton of money you can just go spend and just do all the things and get all the amenities, and really get that full experience, or you can go, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to enjoy it that way. But like you're gonna have to be in one of those two mindsets,
two camps,
in order to get everything out of it, and that's how it was. It's like we're there, like we got like the mugs with with medieval times on it and a drink. And it was like $50 for just 2 drinks. Now they're big drinks, like they're equivalent to like, I don't know, they're probably each equivalent to like 2 or 3 drinks somewhere else, and you get charged for the mug as well, which is fine. Like I had no problem with that, because we did the deal. $35 for a dinner and a show, in my opinion, is dirt cheap.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, it was great.
But like if you think about it, like $20 to get knighted. Oh, look, here's a picture of you and your wife. $20. Here's a picture of you and the kids. $20. Like,
you want to buy a flag to cheer on your guy? That's $5.
Yeah. So like each of those things, it'll keep adding up after a while, quickly. But like I said, once you're in your comfort zone, that you're ready, what you're willing to spend and enjoy, and you stick to it, it's fine. Like the show was great. I enjoyed it. My kids had a great time. When they finally started the jousting, my 10-year-old daughter was like, "Finally, this is what I wanted to see."
My 7-year-old, he was on the edge of his seat the entire time. Like the show wasn't even over yet. He's like, "Is this something we can come back to?"
Will they do this ever again?
Yeah. Well, and
yes, they do it 5 days a week, twice a day, 2 shows.
It kind of reminded me though of the medieval wrestling. Professional wrestling.
Shrek. Right?
Well, no, just the way, like, because it is scripted.
Yeah.
And when they got dismounted, it was literally them just jumping off the mount.
Yeah.
But
they jumped the horse.
They jumped the horse. Yeah. But that being said, it took an incredible amount of athleticism, because they were jumping really high into the air,
and to not be injured once they impacted with the ground, and wearing the armor, like, you gotta figure that's gotta hurt. Yeah.
So
they are very skilled at what they're doing. Stage combat is very, very challenging, and there's sometimes like when the guy's like, I'm 3 seconds before the guy's going to start his swing, I'm putting up the shield there, holding it to brace for impact. Those are the things that's like, well, that's not as cool, when it's back and forth, swinging the weapons.
It's not as cinematic, but it keeps you safe. If you're
Yeah,
that guy that thing could go wrong, you're like, all right, I'm telegraphing this a little bit, but I don't care.
Or when the guy was using the flail.
The flail, holy hell.
And he's taking the flail strikes on the shield. That's no joke.
If there's there's miscalculations on that would be problematic.
Yeah, and we sat pretty high up, unfortunately, but I mean you could hear that that reverberation.
They were probably mic'd
easily.
They were probably mic'd too. I mean, it's pretty loud in there.
I don't know. I just think it echoed really well throughout the entire chamber. But the weapon play.
I liked being high up because I felt like you could see everything. See everything unfolding underneath you. Yeah,
but the weapon play was great. I thought the best maneuver of the entire night was when the Green Knight totally pole vaulted double-footed kicked the guy. I thought that was fantastic. Yeah, I walked away from that totally saying, all right, I need to play a Battlemaster now.
Nice. What was I going to say? There's tons of displays of horsemanship.
Absolutely.
And it's cool because they make the horses dance and shit. There was they did the falconry, which was really cool. Watching the falcon fly over.
I was nervous it was gonna fly into something. Honestly. There's so much stuff hanging down. I'm like, what?
That's what I asked my daughter.
It's a light fixture.
You think that thing? You ever think it hits a wall?
Every now and again. Yeah, there's just some animal rights thoughts I had while I was watching the whole thing. Though.
Well, you guys know that my wife actually used to do riding, for a long time. And
that's actually news to me.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the deal. Beth used to do that, and when the horses are kind of walking sideways while the two guys are literally sword fighting in the saddle, I'm like, how difficult is that? It's like, well, the horse has to be trained from basically an infant to be able to walk sideways, because when they get to be an adult, it's something that they can't pick up. Backwards is challenging enough, but sideways takes a lot of work, and to do it while something else is going on, that is just an incredible amount of skill as both the rider and the horse.
Well, and also too, so the thing that made me think is you have all this clanging going on. So the horse's ears are right there. They're swinging. I'm just how many times have they ever missed
and hit the horse?
And what the outcomes of that would be?
I mean, honestly, they probably go through the same training with the horses as they would have during those times, and basically train them to be war horses.
Yeah.
Because that's everything you would have to deal with on the battlefield.
Well, I actually think that the decorative stuff that they have on the horse, that actually covers their ears, so it actually mutes the sound.
I thought the ears were exposed.
It was different for different ones.
Because I clearly would see ones that had their ears would move.
Okay, I don't recall that, but I know
the horses that were there lancing were arrayed differently than the ones that were performing.
Because I can recall the red and black. He had the full thing. Covering
the blow.
You're right.
I think the ones who were actually jousting and doing the footless and the list, they actually were covered.
Okay, I think that helps mute the sound. It controls the ears so that they're not, going to be up while people are swinging swords. So possibly the actual decoration, that the horses wear while they're on the list, as you say, protect them.
I also dug all the sparks. I was kind of wondering. I was kind of wondering. I was like, I wonder if they do anything with the blades to get extra sparks,
or if it's just I was questioning that as well, because again, I've talked about the time frames that I've done sword on sword combat, and typically when you see those sparks, it's when two burrs are actually meeting. I imagine they're not actually using live steel; they're blunted. So when blunted steel meets blunted steel, it tends to curl off sections of that metal, and if two swords that have that curled sections, the burrs, meet, that's where those sparks come from. But with as big as those sparks were getting, you know, I was like, how is that happening? That's got to be something extra that they throw in for presentation.
Or
for an
maybe,
extra $10.
or do you think maybe they go a little bit harder than you guys do when you're fighting each other, as far as because and what I mean by that,
they're choreographed.
It's choreographed, and they mean to hit the weapon and not the person. Like you guys, when you're doing it, you're trying to hit each other.
Right.
They're trying to hit the weapon, so maybe they're swinging harder.
That's possible.
Because I know of people.
Plus, those dudes look kind of jacked. Like, you know, like they're probably like really fit. You know.
Well, I've harness sticks. I know when they get going, they'll create sparks as well, and that's not even metal; it's wood.
Right.
Yeah. And even like playing street hockey, like I've made sparks like just on concrete, like with a wooden hockey stick. So, but metal and metal, oil. Yeah. Maybe there's like an oil of impact.
Maybe.
Yeah. But you know, yes, to do the stuff that they do, they have to be in fantastic condition. You know, I can see, you know, from what they're doing that their programmed breaks are so that they have a chance to catch their breath, because what they're doing is incredibly taxing. You know, you add on, you know, 20-30 pounds of armor and gear and whatever have you, and you know, it's exhausting.
Yeah. So, like, I was kind of curious, like, you know, I was doing some stuff on Instagram about medieval times or whatever. So, like, medieval times, like, liked a couple of our photos. So I was curious, like, I had this thought in my head. I was like, there's probably knight groupies. Like, there's got to be a thing. So I looked, and definitely there was comments, like, from women, like, you know, checking out the knights. I was like, that's got to be a thing. Like, you know, good-looking guys.
Were you trying to find out how you could fall into the camp of knight groupies?
Yeah. Like, how what kind of armor do I have to buy to make this happen? Oh, I have to do like crazy stunts and horseman stuff? Nah, that shit ain't gonna happen. No. Yeah. Exactly. I have to be a damn stunt man, basically.
Pretty much. I mean, the really skill set you have to know.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be able to ride a horse, and not just ride a horse.
Like be masterful at it. Yeah.
And you know, and then you have to know how to fight with, you know, a variety of weapons, because it's true, they use flail, battle axe, swords, halberds,
polearms.
Lances,
halberds, lances.
Yeah. I mean, it did like precision tricks where like they got like the rings off of the target. Yeah. You know, like that kind of stuff.
All except for the black and white knight, they all scored their rings.
Yeah, you suck, black and white.
Yeah.
Which is why he was out first.
Yeah.
You noticed that, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, all of those skills, you know, that takes, you know, years and years worth of practice. And I imagine they are cycle training so that in case, you know, this dude's out tonight, you know, his apprentice or, you know, his squire or whatever have you, you know, is trained
also known as the pooper scooper guys.
Well, that's something that needs to be there too, you know. But
you know what, I kind of like almost wanted to like interview a knight. I would love to do that. So like, what do your parents think when like they found out, like, Mom, Dad, I'm gonna be a knight at medieval times? Like,
yeah. Hey, if you happen to be a knight from medieval times and you're seeing this, get with us. Message us.
I'm sure we can make that happen, but I mean, like, I don't want to be insulting, but I just imagine like somebody's parents might just be very taken aback.
You're like, I sent you to college. What are you doing?
Well, yeah, I'm now a stage actor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that they come from an acting stuntman, stage combat sort of background, really.
No, they actually majored in night.
They majored in it. They took night classes.
No, they went to night school.
Night classes. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So now we're just getting.
I would love to do all that kind of stuff, but you know, the dabbling I've done in combat, it doesn't put me anywhere near, you know, all the things you would need to be able to do that. I would love to know just how long does it take to just be able to master the lance, you know, to be able to do that kind of stuff.
Well, just to be able to sit the horse as well before you even get to the point where you do the lance, because otherwise you could just like run up with a lance. But like that's the whole. I mean, the whole horse package is the whole thing.
I've done horseback riding, nowhere near as much as my wife, but I mean, I've done it, and it's kind of cool. But to do what they do is it's incredible.
And get a big animal to listen to. We went with one of our friends who's a kung fu master, and so we were joking about having him challenge one of the knights to a duel. I'll be like, dude, you're gonna do that, but he's so gonna get to pick the weapon, and it's gonna be a lance. You're gonna be so screwed
because the other weapon is the horse.
Yeah.
But to get the horse to listen, you just have to actually, know enough horsemanship, because horses, unfortunately, are pretty dumb. They have no idea how big they are.
You're gonna get so much
many
hate comments now.
Horses are like genius. My horse does my goddamn taxes.
Yeah.
Well, with that, if you guys have your horses doing your taxes, let us know down in the comments below. I gotta like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, you can feed us some hay over on Twitter.
And you can come hang out with us on Facebook.
Until next time,
Stay nerdy.